Hi, I'm Luke Lango, Senior Investment Analyst at Investor Place. And this is Quick Picks, where we communicate to you some of the market's best investment ideas in just 10 minutes.
One of America's leading innovation investors, Luke Lango's Investor Place Quick Picks.
Hey guys, I'm sorry for the long break in videos. We've been pretty busy on our end doing some pretty exciting things, which I think will unlock a whole new world of investment opportunities for a bunch of people. But more on that later. You're here now because you want a stock pick, so let's get down to brass tacks. Today, I'm going to tell you all about AVA, ticker AEVA. Now, AVA is a self-driving technology company making the mission-critical LiDAR sensors upon which the AVs of the future will be built. But AVA isn't making any ordinary LiDAR, no. AVA is taking a very scientifically unique approach to making its LiDAR. And while this approach is less proven than the status quo way of making LiDAR, it also has a ton of potential. And if it works at scale, it will be the foundation for the best LiDAR in the business one day. Meanwhile, AVA's over here, this tiny $2 billion company that's been beaten up by Wall Street on unnecessarily short-sighted fears. And if the company's tech works at scale, you're really talking about a $10+ billion revenue opportunity. So you're talking about extreme upside here. Let's take a deeper look. Folks, let's face reality. The era of self-driving has arrived. Now, this was once purely a science fiction concept, but now it's increasingly turning into a disruptive reality thanks to the convergence of multiple breakthrough technologies that are enabling cars to, first time ever, safely and effectively drive themselves. Now, the biggest of these breakthrough technologies is something called LiDAR, which are add-on laser light sensors that essentially give cars the power of vision through advanced perception sensing tech. But, to be rest assured, there is a big debate out there right now about whether or not you actually need LiDAR in self-driving applications. But that debate really isn't much of a debate at all. Tesla thinks you can do self-driving without LiDAR and with just cameras, and everyone else, literally every other company in this industry, firmly believes you need LiDAR to do self-driving. Now, that speaks for itself, and I wholeheartedly agree with the experts here. Self-driving requires high-res sensing, low-density data, and redundancy, things that only LiDAR can provide in the sensing suite. So I won't go too deep on the LiDAR versus camera debate here, but I will adamantly say that LiDAR is the future centerpiece of the self-driving revolution. And accordingly, I think one of the best ways to play the self-driving revolution is through buying stock in LiDAR makers. Okay, now AVA is the most interesting LiDAR maker in the world. And to understand why, we need to have a little science lesson. So the status quo to make LiDARs on top of something is called time-of-flight techniques. Now, time-of-flight LiDAR sensors essentially send out laser pulses and measure the time it takes those pulses to return to the sensor. They use the time of the flight as a proxy for distance, hence the name. Now, TOF LiDARs are cool, there's no doubt about it, but they also provide a choppy signal since you're sending out laser pulses. And in between those pulses and chop in the signal is exposed to ample interference and noise from sunlight photons and even other lasers. So in order to address the shortcomings of TOF LiDAR sensors, well, that's where AVA comes in. AVA was founded in 2017 by two former Apple engineers who realized that TOF may not be the end-all be-all here. So what AVA did is pioneer a new type of LiDAR sensors built on something called frequency modulated continuous wave, or FMCW. So unlike TOF sensors, FMCW sensors transmit and receive a continuous laser beam, no pulses, and measure differences in the frequencies of the outgoing laser beam from the incoming one to measure the distance of objects. So in other words, TOF uses time to measure distance, whereas FCMW uses frequency to measure distance. Now the critical difference here is that TOF sends out laser pulses, while FCMW deploys one continuous laser beam. Pulses provide choppy signal subject to noise. Continuous beams provide fluid signal with significantly less noise. So to that end, FMCW LiDAR sensors robustly address the shortcomings of TOF LiDAR, and Aeva is the undisputed leader when it comes to making FMCW LiDAR. Now, all this doesn't mean FMCW tech will make TOF tech obsolete. FMCW sensors also have their own shortcomings, including range, speed, and cost, to name a few. Now, the last of those is the biggest obstacle to adoption today, and it's largely why FCMW tech will not be ubiquitously deployed ever. Long term, you're probably going to see high quality time of flight LiDAR sensors with smart adjustments for noise cancellation being the gold standard and most commonly adopted solution. But the innate advantages of FMCW when it comes to 4D sensing and clear signal means that there will inevitably emerge a huge market for FMCW LiDAR sensors over the next decade. Likely in the premium auto market, where zero interference is a meaningful feature and price is less of an obstacle. And now Aeva, well, they're at the epicenter of that market. Okay, so there's a few things I like about Aeva. You know, the company's got the right route to start, okay? So Aeva was founded by, again, those two highly regarded former Apple engineers, and today they count semiconductor and auto industry veterans as execs at the company. Now, the company also has the best tech. Aeva's proprietary first-to-market FMCW LiDAR sensors operate 5x faster than legacy LiDAR tech while drawing on 10x less power, leading to superior performance and durability. And the company's also got the strongest partnerships, right? So Aeva's market-leading technology has been validated by customers, including two of the top truck programs, and on that list you have Two Simple, the AV trucking company that just set records for having a truck travel across America in record time. You also have 3 global luxury sedan makers, including Porsche and Audi, and 2 top mobility and technology companies. So net-net, Aeva is the best in-breed FMCW LiDAR sensor maker in the world, and a company that projects as a very important player in the premium self-driving car revolution of the future. So how high can Aeva stock go? Well, the company is currently valued around $2 billion, just a hair under $2 billion. And my numbers suggest that, under pretty conservative long-term assumptions, that Aeva dominates the premium auto market but doesn't snag much market share anywhere else, this company could clear $2 billion in net profits by 2030. So you put a 20x multiple on that, which is a market average multiple, it's what the market's trading at, and you get a potential $40 billion valuation in the long run. So 2 billion, 40 billion, you're talking about truly a potential 20x opportunity over the next decade. And that means if you're bullish on self-driving, on what's to come in the self-driving revolution, then you should consider buying Aeva stock today. Well, that's all we have for this edition of Investor Plays Quick Picks. I hope you like what you saw, and thank you for your patience in between all the hectic noise that's been going on recently. I hope to see you next time. If you want more analysis, always feel free to check out investorplace.com. Until next time, though, cheers and happy investing to all.